Hi, how you doing? Thanks for watching Brothers of Survival. We're going to do a quick review over some gear we've reviewed in the past and some new upgraded gear. This is the Grand Trunk single hammock. We did a recent review on this one. Very nice on a quick toss-up hammock. This one is the one I chose actually for my children. It's a little bit easier for them to carry in their packs, to set up, a little bit more size accommodating. It's not so much fabric. What we do also is I've got a small coffee can that we put inside the stuff sack for its hammock here, and what we did is we just filled this up with some rocks. You can either use your flashlight, anything else that just has weight, and when you're in the hammock you can fold one side over you and then you toss this over the other side. What it does is it just wraps you completely and encases you here, so you can hold your body heat, keep the other wind off you and everything else. So this is a good little tip. Over here what we have is the Enos hammock. This is called the Double Nest, which is a two-person hammock. This has a lot more fabric. Also, the weight rating on the single hammocks is about 200 pounds. On this one, you've got 400. There are some other versions you can get even excesses of 400 pounds. It is a little bit tight with two people in it, but it is possible for sure. But it's very comfortable for adult size. And again, you also have enough fabric where it's a lot taller. You can fold one side over. What I do is I usually keep a sidearm or a flashlight in this pocket. I can fold it over this way, and then it completely encases me inside here. Then you've got quick access to a flashlight or whatever you need. Also, what we've tried out here is this is the Bivvy sack by SOL. Is Survive Outdoors Longer is what it stands for, not what you think. But so it's a very, very thin, very lightweight. This only weighs 8.5 ounces. And so you've got almost like your emergency style blanket on the inside, which retains your body heat, but this is a material that it breathes, so it actually it releases the moisture from your body. So a lot of other sacks that you can sleep in, it actually will retain that water, and then you end up with damp clothes, and then you end up cold afterwards. So basically zip up, it's a mummy style sack. This has the drawstring on the outside. You can actually cinch all this around you to pretty much enclose your face. It definitely does work. For my body size, I'm about 6'1", about 185. With all my extra clothing on it, I have underneath, it was getting a little bit constricting. But it's definitely, you can also unzip the back and have the zipper portion towards your back if you need a little bit more room or space. It definitely does retain the heat. I'd say if you're in typical clothes, you'd be about 40 to 50 degree bag. Other than that, depending on what kind of under garments or whatever you have, as far as thermals or anything, that you may be able to go a lot colder. But I do suggest, even with winds, as you have the tarp system like this, once this is folded over, it's a windbreak this way, but you do have your front and your back. So even with this, I was plenty fine. My feet were a little cold for a little while, and then what I noticed is that my shoulder area, where it would base down here, the wind would kind of chill out a little bit. So I do suggest, what I also have is a wool blanket or anything you can. You want to definitely keep the weight and the size down on your packing. So on this trip I had enough room for a wool blanket. I put that underneath my shoulder area, and then also had a little bit extra to wrap on top, and it was plenty warm. But if you have an extra shirt or anything just to get in between that barrier, I think you'd be more than fine. The Bivvy sack also comes in it's a very small sack. It actually is the same thing as the hammock. You just keep stuffing, it goes right in. Very small to pack in your bag, and again, it's only 8.5 ounces. So for what it is and what it does, it's far worth any other sleeping bag that I've carried on previous trips. Highly suggested, especially in an emergency or bug out situation. Definitely better to have something than nothing, and this has done what it was intended to multiple nights in a row for myself and my child. So yeah, I do suggest these. Look for further reviews and testing. Again, we're Brothers of Survival, and thank you for watching.